Well, well, well. Do you hear that? That silence right before the reckoning? That eerie calm. The one that chokes every liar who thought they'd never be caught? Good. Because tonight I speak not to the cowards who whispered behind curtains, but to you. The one they tried to erase in the dark, while forgetting who watches in silence from the storm. They thought their cruelty would go unnoticed, that the slander spilled in hushed corners, the sabotage dressed as smiles, the betrayals hidden behind laughter, would dissolve in time, erased like chalk in the rain. But you bore it all with a strange kind of stillness, not because you were weak, but because something far more ancient than rage had awakened inside you. Divine patience. You didn't fight back with fists. No, you let the winds carry their names to the ears of the watching gods. You let karma cook slow, and the divine took notes, meticulously, because every time they smiled in your face, while twisting the knife in your back, the scales tipped. Every private humiliation, every rigged room you walked into unaware, every coincidental misfortune carefully orchestrated by people who pretended to clap when you won. It was all seen, all heard, all counted. They underestimated you because you didn't scream, because you didn't expose them, because you didn't fall to your knees and beg for mercy like they secretly hoped. But what they didn't understand was that silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. You see, the divine does not always strike fast. Sometimes justice ferments like ancient wine, until its arrival is unmistakable, undeniable, and utterly terrifying. And now, the reckoning. Now, they choke on your name. Now, they whisper your story in rooms that once rejected you. Now, their hearts race when they realize the same nobody they mocked now stands cloaked in unburnable fire. A fire the gods themselves ignited. They prayed no one would ever learn how they treated you. They hoped your light would flicker out in isolation. They cheered when you stumbled, and when you stayed down a little too long, they smiled and called it fate. But you were rising, slowly, painfully, furiously, in silence, and now you burn. Now their blessings dry up. Now their peace turns to ash. Because the gods, they don't forget, and they do not play fair when the sacred is wounded. They tried to bury you in gossip, but you were already rooted in divine rage. They tried to erase your future, but the universe carved a new timeline with you at the center, crowned, unbothered, and armed with memory. They whispered cruelty in secret. But now you speak thunder, let it be known. They never feared your wrath. They feared your truth. And now, the gods answer through you. Judgment has a face, and tonight, it wears yours. Oh, how they smiled when you stumbled. They offered you comfort with poisoned words, held your hand while plotting the cliff's edge. They said, "We were just worried," as they pushed you deeper into doubt. But what they failed to understand, what they were too small, too arrogant to grasp, is that some souls are not built for vengeance. Some are built for resurgence, not for petty payback, but for cosmic restoration. You see, you were never just surviving. You were recording. Each betrayal engraved itself in the marrow of your bones. Each insult became a spell in your veins. And each silent night you spent questioning your worth was a night the gods sharpened your crown in the shadows. They say, "Why are you so quiet now?" As if they didn't teach you silence. As if their abuse didn't sculpt your restraint into a weapon so sharp, it now cuts through dimensions. No, You're not quiet. You're calculating. You're listening to every room they think you're not in. You're watching every fake smile, every shift in tone, every forced apology soaked in fear. Because now they feel it, that phantom pressure in their chest when you enter the room, that trembling under their skin when your name is spoken. That paranoia isn't random. It's justice waking up. And here's the final twist they never saw coming. You don't even want revenge, because you've outgrown them. You no longer orbit around their chaos. You became the storm itself. Untouchable, sacred, sovereign. You are not who you were before the silence. You are what rose from it, anointed, transfigured, written in divine ink across the eyes of fate. So let them tremble. Let them toss in beds they once slept soundly in. Let them feel what you felt, the weight of being seen only when convenient. Let them drown in the silence they used to destroy you, only to find out, too late, that silence was the God watching them the whole time. They whispered cruelty in secret. But now, the gods speak through you, and the universe is done whispering